Mark Hilliard is on the line with us, the president of the Indiana County Chamber of Commerce. Our conversation brought to you by Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. Mark, good morning.
Good morning. It's actually nice to hear so many different sports stories that are actually recent.
Yeah.
And not talking about things that happened years ago or past championships. So
yeah, well, we'll have a little bit of that too. But yeah, maybe one day we get back to normal. It might be a while, but we could actually get back to what we would consider to be normal. But a part of that is starting off on the road to recovery. You at the Chamber of Commerce and some partners have gotten together and come up with something that's going to help us to do that. Tell me about the Indiana County Road to Recovery.
Well, this it kind of came from meetings that we've been having through Zoom over the past month or so, where people have had different ideas, and we've been discussing what recovery steps are going to be needed for quite some time, and people had different ideas, and some of them stuck, including mine. Some of them did not stick, including mine. But we basically looked at something that. What can we put together that would include a lot of these different concepts and really start to look at the recovery efforts? And we felt now is time to start looking at the recovery. We're going to start seeing things opening up May 1st with some of the recreational activities, and then May 8th, I think we're going to start to see some more of these businesses doing soft openings. So now is the time we felt that it was important for businesses to start looking at, okay, what do we do when employees come back? How do we make sure that they stay safe? What do we do to get our businesses ready to open our doors to the public? What kind of cleaning services are needed? What businesses still need financial help? And there are a lot of banks out there that, not just with the SBA loans or the payroll protection programs, but there are banks like, InFirst, Marion Center Bank, S&T First Commonwealth that offer other loan opportunities and other opportunities for businesses to be able to help them out. So these were things that we felt that the resources that businesses would need now as we start looking at a couple of weeks down the road when we start seeing more soft openings with some of these places. And, you don't want to wait until it happens to, start getting the word out. And at the same time, we felt that as part of the bulletin, we needed to focus on upcoming events. Many of these are still virtual, but start looking ahead at different events that might be coming up and how people can take part in those events. And then information from IRMC, they have a great campaign called #StayIndiana that they're pushing right now, and they're giving a lot of different health tips for businesses and for people in general. And we wanted to help promote what they're doing and partner with them from that standpoint. We have word information from our local leaders, so every one of these bulletins is going to have information from some of our different local leaders, including the commissioners, Representative Struzzi, Senator Pittman. Every one of them can speak on the recovery efforts on a different level, whether it's the county level, the state level. They can speak about the different efforts that are ongoing related to those different areas that they work in. And then, we have some other things as well, like our social distance dining club, which is trying to encourage people to continue to support the restaurants. And, we like the concept of focusing on a different restaurant and, trying to get them a lot more business in a shorter period of time as opposed to, spreading out with a bunch of different places. So certain businesses have been a lot busier, other ones have not been, and we're trying to focus on a lot of these different places just to make sure that they are able to get the word out there and get the menu out there. And, we're hoping that's something that could continue after things do open up as well.
So you're going to get
down the road, we're also looking at things like, as part of this, a word from the different industries, whether it would be agriculture or manufacturing or healthcare, to talk about some of the things that they're doing, what impacts they've had, but also, some of the efforts that they have right now in terms of recovery. But more than anything, Todd, it's something to let people know that we are on the way back. We feel that we're, starting to look at the recovery efforts as opposed to what impacts things have had. We have had a survey that went out there. We're sending it back out there this week to get anybody who might have missed it, and then we're going to really start analyzing things in terms of specific economic initiatives that we could look at a county level to to help address some of those needs. And we also want, once businesses do open up, what can we do to help promote, a lot more shopping, a lot more, people going into these businesses once it's safe to do so. But how can we start promoting things for these businesses to help get back on track? So we're looking at all those things, but really we wanted a feel-good type of bulletin that could focus on some of the recovery efforts as opposed to so much of the negative information. And I hate to say negative information, but everything has been on the negative economic impacts and, how many cases there are of COVID and everything else. And we felt it was time to start looking at, okay, how can we get back to normal? How can we get back on track? And what are the positive things that are going on in the community? Because there are quite a few of them.
Yeah, absolutely. The turnaround has to be as big a part as the downturn was in the very first place. So this is going to come out as a bulletin twice a week, yes?
Yes, it's coming out every Tuesday and every Friday. Now, we send it out via email. We're also going to have a link to it on our Facebook page and on the Indiana County Shop Local Facebook group. I'd encourage anybody else. I think some of our partners are also going to be sharing it as well, some of the partners with the Center for Economic Operations. So, the Chamber has sent out a weekly email. We included some of this information. We just felt as if there was a lot more to include, and I think there was a lot missing. And there are things we're going to continue to update. Some of the information will remain the same in each one of the bulletins. Some will be different because there's going to be things that, businesses will contact us. We've had some yesterday contact us already and say, well, hey, I'm offering this, and this. What, can you get our name out there as well? And we're happy to do that. If you're offering something that's related to the recovery efforts, contact our office at the 465-2511 and let us know. We'll make sure we get your name out there to let businesses know they can rely on you if they need you for anything related to the recovery.
One of the interesting things to me about the bulletin itself is as you look through it, you see what the upcoming area events are. One of those is Representative Struzzi inviting the Indiana County farming community to join him and Congressman Glenn G.T. Thompson on a call happening tomorrow. Those are pretty important things, aren't they?
Well, yeah, and that was something else that we heard from a lot of people, whether a lot of the events that have been going on, we've heard too many times that people aren't hearing about them. And not that this bulletin is going to reach everybody, but it's just another way to get some information out there. Because there were so many ways to get information out there, through social media, that too many people, I think, were missing some of the important events. They've had town hall meetings and virtual town hall meetings, and they were well attended, but, we still heard and they still heard that I didn't even know that was going on. So this was just another means to try to get the word out there for a lot of these different events. They're not all, related to, whether it's something that Representative Struzzi or Senator Pittman are doing. But there's a blood drive that's going on. We also wanted to focus on important dates in the county that are coming up, like the last day to register to vote, the new date for the primary election. So there are a lot of things that are coming up that we want to make sure people are aware of, and never hurts to get it out there in one more, means like the bulletin.
Yeah, that blood drive today at TriStar in Blairsville is happening, and those things are very, very important. It's interesting to me, Mark, and again, we're talking to Mark Hilliard, the president of the Indiana County Chamber of Commerce, the partners who have come together to make this happen, because it really represents a wide range of leaders, the county commissioners, State Senator Pittman, or Representative Struzzi, the Indiana County Center for Economic Operations, and the Chamber of Commerce, and all of those different parties coming together all come from a different angle, and they have different perspectives on the recovery and what they want people to know. Yes, and we, this is kind of we're all related to we're all involved in the Indiana County Center for Economic Operations. We're all involved with those meetings, and usually we'll have a meeting twice a month, and that's obviously not happened quite as often, but we have been talking with that specific group, and whether it's representatiors from Representative Struzzi or Senator Pittman's office, and sometimes they're able to get on if they're not in session, or Byron Stauffer, Denise Liggett,
Dana Henry, Angela Camposano, we're all kind of involved with those discussions, and the commissioners are generally there as well. So that entire group has been together, and it seems like every time we're on a Zoom call, it's that group that make up at least part of that call. So we've been having discussions for well over a month now in terms of, okay, what steps can we take? And it's just been kind of piecing things together bit by bit. And we're going to be involved with a lot more discussions with that same group and others as we continue to move towards the recovery efforts and until we're knee-deep in the recovery efforts. So, we're going to continue to have those discussions, and that group is going to be, the primary group that is meeting, because they do come from a lot of different angles, state, county perspective, and they each add something different to the conversation, something maybe we didn't think of, or a different level of expertise. And it's really good to have a lot of that brain power in the same room to be able to look at things differently and get different perspectives and different ideas out there.
In the same room, but at a social distance over your Zoom, huh?
Yeah, that's right. Yes.
All right, Mark Hilliard.
Chat room.
Thanks for giving us the update. This looks like it's something that's really positive for Indiana County, and folks can access this and use those resources regularly, and it's going to be very helpful. Thanks, Mark.
And no problem, Todd. Thank you very much.
Have a great day.
All right, you too.